It's the most beautiful sunny day here in Suffolk, and we've come to the farm to talk to Chris, our farm manager at Tuckwells Farms, about World Earth Day, which is today. It is all about regeneration and looking after our soil. Chris, you are passionate about this. Tell us a little bit about what you've been doing here to protect our soil for future generations.
Well, I think first and foremost, what's really important to us here at Tuckwells Farms is that we ensure that whatever we do here has this positive impact on the environment, not just for our generation, but for future generations as well. So our children and their children, so they can enjoy this beautiful landscape just as much as we do. Now we're surrounded here by this massive carbon sponge, and for years and years, we've not really harness the power of this, this vastly important medium on which we grow all of our food on, and we've really been releasing carbon for years and years into the atmosphere, and now our mentality here is certainly at Tuckwells Farms, and I know for a lot of UK farmers now and farmers all over the world, we're looking at the soils as a way of sequestering carbon out of the atmosphere, which is massively important now.
It's so difficult. 95% of the world's food comes from the earth, and yet we've got a population of 8 billion people. How can we protect our soil to make sure that we can continue to feed this growing population without destroying our planet?
Well, I know this is quite a hot sort of topic in farming now, soils, and how we ensure our soils remain healthy for the future. We know they've degraded over the past 40-50 years through intensive cultivations, intensive farming techniques, but one of the things we're looking at now is certainly reducing the amount of tillage we carry out on the farm. We have historically been a heavy tillage farm here, which in itself releases, or the biggest percentage of carbon released from farming is from our soils. So we're making a real conscious effort now to reduce our tillage. We haven't ploughed now for 3 years. We're very much in the early stages of regenerating our soils, if you like. But we're growing cover crops. We're ensuring something's growing in the ground all the time. Taking carbon out of the atmosphere and storing it in our soils.
So not only are the cover crops that you see here, well, they're not here, but in some of the fields, during the low season, they're helping to, as you say, take carbon dioxide out of the atmosphere, but also ensure that you don't have to plough those fields. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. No. First and foremost, we need to be removing carbon from the atmosphere. Global warming is a very real thing. I was probably a little bit more skeptical years ago, but now when you look at the science, I trust the science this is what's happening, and we need to ensure that we continue removing that carbon from the atmosphere.
And in terms of insects, wildlife, what part do they play?
Well, yeah, they play a massive part. We now I don't think you can see the margins here, but we dedicate 10% of our farm to increasing habitats and ecosystems. We have something like 40 miles of wildflower margins here now, and field corners. We've now gone a year, which doesn't sound a lot, but we've gone a year without using insecticides. We're trying to promote pollinating insects and beneficial insects and predatory insects as well, and if we're going to start or carry on using insecticides, it kind of goes against the sort of the way we want to farm here, and that is to promote wildlife essentially.